Hey, what's up guys? Welcome back to the channel. And in today's video, I'm going to be going over something that I mentioned back in part 2 of the K-Swap Honda Civic build. And that is why I think you should unlock your VTC gear before you install it. And I guess before I go forward, for those of you that don't know what a VTC gear is, this is what goes on the intake cam of your engine. And this gear allows for some advancement or retardation of your intake cam to either increase or decrease your power. And the only reason you want to decrease is to get better gas mileage. So Honda implemented this variable timing gear. So a popular mod on the K24 engines is to take this 25-degree gear and upgrade to either a 50-degree, a 40-degree, or 45-degree. And you can get anything in between. You can get almost pretty much anything in between 25 and 50 custom built for you. I went with a 45-degree because I heard that the 50-degree could cause some interference in the engine, so I wanted to be safe. In order for this gear to advance or retard the timing, it needs to be in the unlocked state. So right now, when this little square right here on the gear is in the locked state, the gear cannot advance or retard the timing. When it's in the unlocked state, it allows it to advance or retard the timing. So the only way to unlock this gear is to pressurize it, because when the gear is on the car, pressurized oil is fed through it in order to unlock it and move it around. So you can manually unlock these by putting the gear on the cam, like I did in part 2 of my video, and pushing some compressed air through it to unlock it. And that is what Honda recommends you do before you install the gear. They recommend that you always unlock it before you torque the gear down. So because it's kind of a pain to push that pressurized air in there and unlock the gear, put it on the cam, a lot of people, I've seen a few people online just torque the thing right down without unlocking it. And when I was researching this, I didn't really think much of that. I always err on the side of caution, so I unlocked it, but it wasn't like I thought it was bad not to. I just wanted to be extra safe. And I thought Honda might be being a little overly cautious with it. However, I did take the gear apart. I did take my old gear apart after I installed the 45-degree gear just to see what was going on there, see if I could figure it out, why Honda was saying to unlock the gears, because they never say why, they just tell you to do it. And once I took it apart, I came up with a theory as to why I think Honda recommends you unlock the gear. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this gear apart, and I'm going to show you guys how it works inside, and I'm going to show you guys my theory on why I think Honda recommends you unlock it before you torque it down. And I'd love to hear your guys' feedback in the comments, hear your experiences if you have any installing one of these gears. So yeah, let's jump right into it. Okay, so I've got my VTC gear right here, and I'm going to take this thing apart. You just have to take these 4 bolts out, and this cover will come right off, and then you can fully disassemble it if you want, but we're just going to take the cover off and we'll be able to see what's going on in here. Okay, and there is a spring in here, so be a little careful when you're taking it off so it doesn't fly across the room. Okay, and we can safely remove the spring now. And the spring is what pushes it back into the locked state, because if you've ever unlocked one of these and then you kind of twist it, it'll just lock. And that is what's actually doing that. Okay, so now you can kind of see how this thing works. So as you can see, this space right here, these spaces, that's where this inner gear can turn in order to advance or retard the timing of the engine. And what would happen if you machined some more of this away, or actually you would probably machine this part right here back so that it's more closer to this. So that way you would gain more advancement. And it's kind of interesting how on these 25-degree gears, these 2 pieces still would allow for the full amount of advancement. So all you have to do is machine these 2 back, and then you would gain that extra 25 or so degrees, or however much you're seeking. So that's that. Now, in here is actually a little plunger that can move out in order to unlock the gear. So right now it's pushed all the way back. The gear is in the lock state. So you could use a magnet to pull it out. I don't have a magnet, so I'm just gonna drop the gear a few times. And as you can see, the plunger actually fell all the way out, but usually it would just kind of move forward. But this is fine. So now you can see that the gear is in the unlocked state. So it moves forward and back. Now, when you're torquing the gear down in the unlocked state, the pressure would be put on these big pieces of metal here. So all the pressure is going on that. However, if you torque the gear down in the locked state, then all the pressure is on this little plunger right here. So I guess Honda's reasoning is this is much weaker than this right here. So I would assume there is a small risk when you're torquing this thing down in the locked state that you could crack this or damage it in some way or kind of maul it a little bit, because this thing is, it's pretty light. You know, it's not, I'm sure it's a strong metal, but it's pretty light. So that's my hypothesis. Let me know what you guys think in the comments, and I'll see you in the next video.